What's up, y'all? Salute to Christy Webster. Oh, Philly is on fire, man. Shout out to Dave coming through, man. Philly is on fire. Shout out to everybody watching on Rumble, man. Hola, man. Oh, is it? Now, listen, man. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but aren't the people that are like calling them men or women the one um misgendering? Aren't they like misgendering themselves? Like, I mean, like let's cut the bullshit, man. Aren't they misgendering themselves? Like, what the fuck, man? They're the ones doing the misgendering. They're the ones doing the misgendering, man. Let's keep it a buck, man. They're the ones. Salute to Palmer Henderson, man. Salute to Palmer Henderson. They're the ones doing the misgendering. She's actually rightly gendered. Oh my god, man! Wow, she gets demonetized for calling a man a man. Wow. Now I do think the backlash on this is going to be ridiculous. I will say that. I do think the backlash on this stuff is going to be ridiculous. I do think the backlash on this pride stuff, is going to be ridiculous. And since it won't be done by the institutions, because the institutions are all with it, it's going to be done by the people. I feel sorry for gay people, man, and lesbians, man, and bisexual people, man. Because I think people pretty much know that that shit goes on, and it's a lot of people that are gay, and there's a lot of people that swing both ways. Everyone knows that. We've always known that. But this trans stuff is just off the hook. And since it's all in one group, LGBT, I think when the backlash comes, gay people and lesbians are going to suffer, man. Gay people and lesbians are going to suffer because of their tying their self to the trans movement. By tying themselves to the trans movement. It's just like the Black and Brown Coalition. Goddamn Mexicans don't got nothing in common with black people. They don't even like black people. But they talk about some Black and Brown Coalition. Mexicans don't even like black people. And white liberals have made it a Black and Brown coalition, just like this LGBT. They group all these people together. Soon it's going to be an Indian and Pakistani coalition. It's going to be the Indian American and Pakistani American coalition. Brought to you by white liberals. Aren't they misgendering us when they call us cisgender? What the fuck is a cisgender? I didn't hear about that word until like maybe 3, 4 years ago. Cisgender. You're a cisgender male. Well, motherfucker, you're misgendering me. I'm just a fucking man. You're misgendering me now. How about that? Conservatives don't got the cojones to say that. Because conservatives rather jump off a building to say that. Fuck you mean cisgender? You're misgendering me. I'm not cisgender. I'm just a fucking man. You fucking weirdo. Speaking of weirdos,
10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word.
10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word. Make sure you hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Support the channel, guys. Support the channel, man. 10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word. Salute to Dina C, man. Said, oh, Angel Soul Rumble watching. Shout out to Rumble, man. Shout out to Angel Soul Rumble, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Angel Soul Rumble, man. Yeah, Sun Word, man. Sun Word, man. That's that one. They better put Sun Word on there, man. I'm be offended, man.
10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word. If you use any of these terms or phrases in reference to Black people, you are just as racist as the person that actually uses the N word. Here are the words: thug, ghetto, welfare queen, lazy, race baiter, race grifter, threatening, angry.
Hold on. Race baiter is the N word. Oh shit, they gonna put you gliders, man. They got you gliders up against the wall, man. We up in your collar, man. We got you gliders up against the wall in your collar. Like, yeah, bitch, nigga, say something. Move your hand. Don't touch me. Get your fucking hands off me. Don't touch me, nigga. Bow. I said, don't touch me. We got y'all. We got y'all in the corner, man. In your pockets, with our hand in your pockets. This is real life bullying, man. They put you gliders in a box, man. God,
10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word. If you use any of these terms or phrases in reference to Black people, you are just as racist as the person that actually uses the N word. Here are the words: thug, ghetto, welfare queen, lazy, race baiter, race grifter, threatening, angry, dangerous. Or you say that we're playing the victim or we are a.
holy shit. And don't and this the thing about gliders, man. They think that this is just a joke. They think, oh, well, I mean, come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. There's no way that this will fucking there's no way this will become mainstream. This is ridiculous. My God. Like, okay, keep thinking that. You ain't think a lot of stuff that's going on now was going to be going on now 5 years ago, 10 years ago, definitely not. Think this a joke. Go on, think this just some harmless little fucking mammy babbling on Twitter. Salute to just some dude. He says, a pasty white parent's badge of honor is having a Wi-Fi password kid, and a son's badge of honor is having a kid locked up. Yeah, man. Well, kid that got killed by a cop. Keep thinking, keep thinking that this just gonna go away. I want you gliders to keep thinking that this just gonna go away. I mean, keep thinking that.
10 ways you say the N word without saying the N word. If you use any of these terms or phrases in reference to Black people, you are just as racist as the person that actually uses the N word. Here are the words: thug, ghetto, welfare queen, lazy, race baiter, race grifter, threatening, angry, dangerous. Or you say that we're playing the victim or we are a diversity hire. What you actually mean to say is the N word. Just stop it. If you say these words or phrases, you are calling us the N word. If you say these ignorant racist terms or phrases around your children, you're also teaching your children to be racist just like you. So I have good news and bad news for you. Here's the bad news: you're not as non racist as you thought you were, and you're certainly not anti. Here's the good news.
See, that's the thing. You gotta. This is why it's so stupid to be anti-racist. It's so stupid because man, they're gonna go after you harder than they would fucking some mythical clans member that they'll never encounter in a million years. They're gonna go after you, anti-racist idiot, harder than some mythical clans member that they'll never see in a million years. Black people are devils, man. They're devils, yo. The devil woman.
You actually mean to say is the N word. Just stop it. If you say these words or phrases, you are calling us the N word. If you say these ignorant racist terms or phrases around your children, you're also teaching your children to be racist just like you. So I have good news and bad news for you. Here's the bad news: you're not as non racist as you thought you were, and you're certainly not anti racist. Here's the good news: you can unlearn all the racist crap you've been taught and reject white supremacist ideologies that you've believed for your entire life. Now, if you're ready to do that and start becoming a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem, go to that link on my profile, sign up for my webinar replay, or
Wow, she gonna charge you to fucking. She gonna charge you to get fucking gaslit. You gotta pay her to gaslight you. You gotta pay some fucking non-select black woman because she dark skinned, man. She pretty as shit. Don't get me wrong. She fine as frog hair, but she still ain't no fucking select. She ain't the top in her own community. You got some goddamn stray dog, some goddamn. You got some goddamn pound puppy chick with a fucking IQ of fucking 74 about to convince y'all to pay her to gaslight you. God, dog. White people are so disappointing, man. And you know they're gonna pay. Press one. You know they're gonna pay. You know white people gonna pay for her seminar to be told how fucking pieces of shit they are.
if you say these ignorant racist terms or phrases around your children, you're also teaching your children to be racist just like you. So I have good news and bad news for you. Here's the bad news: you're not as non racist as you thought you were, and you're certainly not anti racist. Here's the good news: you can unlearn all the racist crap you've been taught and reject white supremacist ideologies that you've believed for your entire life. Now, if you're ready to do that and start becoming a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem, go to that link on my profile, sign up for my webinar replay, or do my 5-day challenge because it's time to do better.
God, dog. Let's see the comments, man. Let's see what they talking about in the comments, man.
The only people who are allowed to use the N-word are black people and racists. That's their word. If you're neither black nor racist, you can't use the word. So stop it.
Or Mexican or Dominican or Puerto Rican. If you Mexican or Puerto Rican or Dominican, you can use it. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah, if you Mexican, Puerto Rican, or Dominican, you can use it. And if you Asian and you live in California, you can use it too. And if you white and you down with a son, man, and you cool and you a piece of shit, degenerate white dude, you can say it too. Know the warning signs of white supremacy. A full-time employment, literacy, professional or technical degree, regular church or temple attendance, auto insurance, good credit rating, and no criminal record. Supremacy. White supremacy. Mm, mm, mm. Look at these idiots. Oh my God. I'm surprised she didn't break that banister, man. Yo, how did she not break that? Oh shit, I wish she would have fell. Cracked her fucking skull. God damn it. Right there, man. Her leg got cut. Shit. Why couldn't the ground be slippery, man, so she could have fell and cracked her fucking skull, man? Shit. Lucky bitch.
Trans people deserve health equity.
So if I call him a man, I'm misgendering him, man. And I deserve to be punched. I gotta call this guy a woman, or I'm misgendering him, man.
Trans people deserve health equity.
You know what health equity, you know what they're talking about right here? They're talking about you paying for their fucking surgeries. Press 1. That's what they're talking about. You paying for their fucking surgeries.
Trans people deserve health equity.
Trans people deserve to see trans joy in the media.
Trans people deserve to exist peacefully.
Trans people
exist peacefully. The only ones you ever get killed are by sunmen. And that's fucking those sex workers. The ones of you that are sex workers are fucking tricking sunmen. Trying to trick sunmen or out them. If y'all didn't trick or try to out sunmen, goddamn, probably 2 transgenders would get killed every year. Press 1. Y'all can pull that shit with gliders, man, and on burritos. But once y'all start trying to out and trick sunmen, your ass is grass. That's the only time you motherfuckers get killed. Stop this bullshit.
The media.
Trans people deserve to exist peacefully.
Trans people deserve autonomy.
Trans people deserve to be loved and believed.
Trans kids deserve to be kids.
Trans people deserve to exist without the Trans people deserve to grow old.
Trans people deserve strength. Trans people.
Look how they trying to make it seem like they're so happy and good. All these people are devils. And not because they're trans, they're just devils. Look at how they they're doing the whole happy thing too much. Whenever someone does that, tries to make you think something, it's kind of like with fake tough guys and shit. They be doing too much. And it's like, come on, man. They doing too much with this happy, good person shit. These people are probably devils. All these people are probably reprehensible human beings.
Trans people deserve to see trans joy in the media.
Trans people deserve to exist peacefully.
Trans people deserve autonomy.
Trans people deserve to be loved and believed.
Trans kids deserve to be kids.
Trans people deserve to exist without the Trans people deserve to grow old.
Trans people deserve strength. Trans people deserve access to the sports they love, just like everybody else.
I should be able to go fucking play with some girls. As if that shit, like, when did this shit just become normal? In the 80s, this guy got punched in his face for saying that shit. I deserve to play with girls and go in a female locker room because where all the fathers at, man? Y'all talk about black fathers and shit. Where all the glider fathers, man? This fucking guy wants to fucking go play with a bunch of fucking girls and shit. Where all the glider fathers at, man?
Trans people deserve access to the sports they love, just like everybody else.
Trans people deserve a spot on the platform. Trans people deserve equity.
Trans people deserve celebration. Trans people deserve to know they are sacred.
Trans people deserve the world.
Trans people deserve everything. This month.
Yeah, that's the one right there. You say this is a girl? Ooh, the fuck? Ooh. You know he don't want to play sports with no men. It don't want to play sports with no men. Listen, man, I'm not trying to be funny, man. But if I play basketball against girls the way I play against boys, I would fucking break one of them girls' fucking collarbone just trying to get a rebound. Just setting a pick. I'd break one of those girls' ribs, boxing them out. for a rebound. But against a guy, it doesn't hurt them because their bones are denser. And their muscle tone is stronger. But at that same movement against a girl, I fucking break her ribs by accident just trying to box her out. Or set a pick on her. Could you imagine a girl trying to take a charge? Fucking give her a concussion.
Trans people deserve to know they are sacred.
Trans people deserve the world.
Trans people deserve everything. This month, and especially today at White House Pride, my first time here, I want to be reminded of the joy that this community holds, of our resilience, of our power. I want this to be a reminder.
There's no joy. You keep saying joy, 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 joy. People aren't happy. People are fucking... You people aren't happy, man. Let me drop the link, man. Salute the IRS, man. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets, man. Congratulations, Denver Nuggets winning their first NBA championship. Who's everybody watching on Rumble?
New at 10 tonight, a big drug bust in Fayette County. The sheriff says they're seeing a resurgence of crack cocaine.
As Fox 5's Doug Evans.
Crack is back, man. Meth, you had your run, man. Meth had his little run, man, but crack is back. Shout out to crack, man. Crack, one of the most resilient drugs, man. Crack's resiliency, man, is impeccable, man.
New at 10 tonight, a big drug bust in Fayette County. The sheriff says they're seeing a resurgence of crack cocaine.
As Fox 5's Doug Evans reports, the sheriff says they've never seen drug prices this low and drug arrests this high.
Second, it's a bunch of meth. Fayette County deputies say traffic stops like this one are more commonplace than ever, with large amounts of illegal drugs being seized. One reason for the prevalence is cost.
The price of drugs has dropped drastically, so it's supply and demand, and it's some of the low.
The price of drugs has dropped drastically. I didn't know that, man. I'm not on drugs, man. I didn't know that, man. You would think with the economy and inflation that the price of drugs would have went up. That's interesting, man. That's very interesting, man. Price of drugs is going down, man.
The price of drugs has dropped drastically, so it's supply and demand, and it's some of the lowest prices we've ever seen for drugs right now.
Fayette deputies say they clocked this Mercedes-Benz traveling 87 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone on April 21st. They say the driver had slowed down rapidly from the mid-90s before the radar locked on the car. The deputy said he could smell marijuana coming from the car, and driver Javier Mendoza Corral refused to allow them to search the car. They did search it, though, and turned up a large stash of drugs, including meth, cocaine, crack cocaine, and marijuana, as well as a loaded handgun and weight scales.
Oh my God.
Cocaine, I assume?
Crack, I assume?
Fayette County Sheriff Barry Babb says that felony drug arrests by his department have increased 136% in the last year, from 30 in 2022 to 71 so far this year.
Open borders. I mean, it's pouring in. We see it out here a lot more on the street than we did.
Javier Mendoza Corral, who deputies say is 18 years old from Riverdale, is facing numerous felony drug charges. The sheriff says crack cocaine is apparently making a comeback. We're told that Javier Mendoza Corral remains locked up in the Fayette County Jail. I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News in Fayette County.
A criminal trial is underway for 3 men accused of shooting and killing a longtime Chicago firefighter during a bungled carjacking.
Dane Placco reports one of the members of that carjacking ring is now testifying against the others.
The family of retired firefighter Dwayne Williams walked solemnly through the Layton Criminal Courthouse on the first day of his alleged killer's trial.
You remember this? I did this story a few years ago. You won't remember this when you see this. We see if they show the footage
of his alleged killer's trial. The 65-year-old Williams was a retired lieutenant with the Chicago Fire Department, was just about to go back to work for the city at the Office of Emergency Management. In December 2020, Williams was walking out of a popcorn shop at 117th and Western when 4 young men jumped out of a car and tried to carjack his red Jeep.
Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. He coming out of popcorn shop. This was random too. They just been circling the block, man.
Tried to carjack his red Jeep. Williams had a concealed carry permit, pulled out his gun. Multiple shots were exchanged, and Williams was shot in the abdomen and later died. Now standing trial for his murder are Devin Barron, Dwayne Johnson, and Jalen Salisbury.
Yeah, they was hunting. It wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't nothing personal. They was just hunting. Damn, look at that shit, man. This is why I tell Marcy, man. This is why I tell you Second Amendment dudes, man. A gun is not a bulletproof vest. And this guy was very aware. The moment he caught wind of what was going on, he produced his gun, I think, quicker than most people would. I think most concealed carriers wouldn't have produced their gun that quick. Would have froze. Panicked. And he's still dead.
4 young men jumped out of a car and tried to carjack his red Jeep.
Look, they on him.
Williams had a concealed carry permit, pulled out his gun.
They was on him. Within a second, they on you.
Multiple shots were exchanged, and Williams was shot in the abdomen and later died. Now standing trial for his murder are Devin Barron, Dwayne Johnson, and Jalen Salisbury, each charged with first-degree homicide. And this is the star witness for prosecutors, 18-year-old David Williams, who was part of that carjacking crew, but was charged as a juvenile. And
Damn, they put them on blast, man. Homies, make sure you support the channel, man. PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Make sure you support the channel, guys. What's happening, man?
Yo, what's the word?
You knew this guy?
Hey, man, I didn't know him, but I will say this situation happened less than a block away from my home.
Wow. What can you do in this situation? I think he did. I think he produced his weapon quick considering the circumstances, right?
I mean, yeah, he did everything right other than leaving his cover. So he went the way he got hit one time when that guy was running away, not looking at him.
Yeah.
That bullet hit him in his abdomen. So if he would have stayed behind his car and had cover, he'd have been just fine. He actually survived all the way to the hospital. He died in surgery.
Oh, might have a stroke or something.
Yeah, cardiac arrest and you know what I'm saying, complications and stuff like that. He was older. But what I'm saying is, in this area where this happened, where I stay, is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? This don't happen over here. So the fact that he knew that they was looking at him, and he still just went outside and, you know what I'm saying, did his thing, because he knew he had they spotted him. He saw them. He went in there, got his popcorn, came out, and they still was there, and he still went out to his car.
Oh,
4 young men.
So he knew before.
Yes, he knew beforehand. Yeah, unfortunately.
Damn.
December 2020, Williams was walking out of a popcorn shop at 117th and Western when 4 young men jumped out of a car and tried to carjack his red Jeep. Williams had a concealed carry permit, pulled out his gun. Multiple shots were exchanged, and Williams was shot in the abdomen and later died. Now standing trial for his murder are Devin Barron, Dwayne Johnson, and Jalen Salisbury, each charged with first-degree homicide. And this is the star witness for prosecutors, 18-year-old David Williams, who was part of that carjacking crew, but was charged as a juvenile and agreed to testify against the others after serving 6 months in a juvenile detention center. But defense attorneys for the 3 defendants slammed Williams during cross-examination.
Well, I refer to him as a thug. He's self-admitted car thief since the age.
That's the N-word, man.
That's the N-word. He racist.
Williams during cross-examination.
Well, I refer to him as a thug. He's self-admitted car thief since the age of 15.
David Sotomayor represents defendant Salisbury and questions whether the star witness Williams can even remember what happened.
He's also admitted that he was high on ecstasy during the period of time of the commission of this crime. So it's my position that he was given a great offer to come by and testify falsely against my client.
The courtroom on the 4th floor here is packed because there are 3 separate juries hearing this case, 1 for each defendant. We're told the trial should take until the middle of next week. At the Layton Criminal Courthouse, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Residents in the Bel Air Edison neighborhood say they've noticed an uptick in violence recently in their community, so they're coming together to try and stop it.
A rash of recent shootings in Northeast Baltimore. Longtime residents say they have never seen it this bad.
A lot of my older adults indicated to me that they were fearful. So I'm thinking too, well, maybe I should stay in my house.
So Rita Cruz, the president of the Bel Air Edison Community Association, says they need to take action, teaming up with Operation Respond, a division of Living Classrooms.
We believe that the answer rests in the community. We believe that the resources, the people, the knowledge, and the information lies right here where the people are.
They've held a series of meetings where community members can voice their concerns or suggestions. They met Monday to take those suggestions and develop a community-based violence reduction strategy.
What could we do as a community to address it without the need of local government, without the need of police, without the need of
Oh God. Spa days for fucking thugs, man. You get arrested, man, you get taken to the spa, man, and if that don't work, man, then fucking nature walk, man, to fucking try to clear your mind, man, and then that don't work, man, you give you a fucking shrink. Like, I mean, what the fuck is these people talking about without police? What's up, AP?
What's up? How's my mic?
You're very good. Go ahead, man.
Somebody needs to ask this guy, how many bodies do we need to step over before we get these people off the streets? Because they keep talking about all these programs, and the only reason they keep talking about all these programs is because they call themselves they're getting taxed. It's non-profits, so they're grifting it along with it as well. But I'd like to ask him, how many more bodies do we need to step over before you realize that none of this crap that you guys are coming up with is working?
None of it. None of it works.
And the thing about that angers me is that people like him that are talking about programs and all this and that, people are dying. If the gang members want to kill each other, good. But there are innocent people, especially children, that are being caught up in this crossfire. And especially with these young people, they're getting no punishment for it. So, I mean, the time for programs is over. It's now time to bring back, I don't know, SWAT team squads, whatever. Get them off the street, hard labor camps, anything. But the
Slavery,
program
man.
stuff,
Bring back lynching.
it doesn't work.
Bring back
And
lynching,
people are
man.
dying.
Bring back lynching. I think that you need to bring back lynching.
Lynching will work. You let their bodies hang there like they used to do for a while in the neighborhood, just like they hang their sneakers up. Let the body hang there for a while. Let it rot. Don't let them cut it down. But also string up their moms too, because a lot of these women, they know exactly what's going on with these young guys. And like these guys that carjacked this man and killed him, I will bet $50 that each of them have a long juvenile record.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
not their first rodeo. So once again, I like to ask these people, how many more people need to die before you realize what you're doing is just a waste?
Yeah, this guy's getting paid though. He's getting these grants. These people, look, he's got the operation, some shit, and these people are getting paid off this shit.
without the need of local government, without the need of police, without the need of all of this other external stuff. But what could the community do?
And I think if we had some type of connection with the people in the community where we met up at least once a month somewhere and we talked to the parents about how to parenting your kids and what we can do to better.
Y'all gonna talk to the parents. You gonna talk to Shaniqua and goddamn man about how to fucking parent their kid once a month. And that's if they come, which they ain't.
The lady in Florida
Hello,
tried
kids.
talking to the mom too, and she had to pull out her gun because the mom was trying to kick in her door.
That's
So
true.
I don't know.
Yeah, she did try to talk to that woman for like over a year, man. Tell your kids to stop fucking, playing in my yard and stop making all this noise by my window and shit. And that shit didn't work. Yeah, nothing works, man. This shit ain't gonna work. Who the fuck is this guy to think that he could meet with some goddamn Boone Shikwa and Quantavious once a month at a meeting that they damn sure ain't gonna come to? Look, listen, you would have to threaten the parents with jail time, and they still wouldn't come. They would just fucking call you racist when you try to throw them in jail for not coming.
Had some type of connection with the people in the community where we met up at least once a month somewhere and we talked to the parents about how to parenting your kids and what we can do to better our kids. I think that would help.
Other suggestions include having more block ambassadors, community members on patrol, and more youth programs.
Bro, it just takes so much funding.
My God, man.
So much funding, so many resources.
fucking believable. It's like the worse it gets, the more they double down. So actually it getting worse, it's like a cauldron. So it gets worse. And they say, okay, we need to do more of what we're doing. And then it gets worse. They say, all right, we got to do double them more of what we were doing. Instead of, these people are so arrogant that they can't just say, look, man, this shit's not working. Let's scrap this plan and come up with another plan. You know what I'm saying? They're so arrogant.
No, it's not arrogance. It's the whole thing. They know that the more crime, the more grants, the more money, the more resilient, the more like just helpless government becomes. These Democrats, these fucking progressives. So they know the more it happens, the more money they get, the more accessibility they get to the fucking 5th floor City Hall. So they know what's going on. They're not fools.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's an element of them that are getting money off of the programs and stuff like this. But there is that contingency of them, the funders. See, this guy right here, these black guys right here, they're milking the white people. They're playing on the white people's gullibility and the white people's goddamn altruism, right, to get money out of them. However, but the white people who are giving them all these grants, they believe in these programs. They're not getting anything for this. They're fucking giving money. They're losing money. Well, not losing. A lot of this is tax write-offs, but they're giving their wealth to this. This guy, yeah, he knows that it's that, but the funders of this shit, I think they really think that this shit works. Or this shit not work, but this shit is the answer. It's something like maybe racism or structural systems is preventing it from working. I think those people are arrogant.
I'll tell you one thing: in the city of Chicago, a lot of this shit is taxpayer funded. But
yeah.
it is a few millionaire billionaires that basically jumped on this bandwagon, like the dude that they ran out of the city, Lori Lightfoot, that King Griffey guy. Yeah, he was funding a lot of this bullshit. And they basically just called him a racist and a white supremacist. And basically just ran that nigga out of town. And he left. But like, yeah, he was funding a lot of shit. He was giving a lot of scholarships away. He was doing he did more for the community than any motherfucker that they can fucking think of. But they ran him away by calling him a white supremacist.
Yeah, black people are devils, man. Salute to Muramasa, man. He says, yo, what's up, Op? How you been doing? I know this is off topic. Have you heard of that whistleblower, David Grush, who mentioned the U.S. government have been recovering? Yeah, I don't believe in UFOs, man. I think all that shit is crap. I think NASA's bullshit. I think NASA just is a way to fucking collect money. I think space is bullshit. I think all of that shit is bullshit.
I agree with on that one too.
I don't believe in none of that shit. It's so fucking. You telling me they got some shit to fly to the moon, but they're not using that fucking shit for fucking weapons on Earth or fucking travel on Earth. So you got some shit that can go to the moon, but you can't even get a fucking Concorde jet to work and shit on planet Earth. The fuck out of here, man.
Bro, you got some shit that can fly to the moon, but you can't fucking figure out how to go from New York to LA in less than fucking an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. This shit is bullshit. It's all horse shit. Space, NASA, SpaceX. Of course, now that fucking Elon owns Twitter. Of course, now Tucker's on Twitter talking about spaceships, UFOs, because Elon owns SpaceX. And now they're going to fucking get more funding for SpaceX by saying that there's fucking aliens and shit. Think about how fucking crazy it is. There's aliens, right, coming and visiting the United States. But you got to be some fucking hick in fucking cornfields of Kansas to fucking ever see them and shit. You never, nobody in New York City or fucking Chicago or LA ever sees a fucking UFO.
Suggestions include having more bloc ambassadors, community members on patrol, and more youth programs.
We're going to do everything humanly possible we can do, even this new initiative, to make certain that Bel Air Edison is a nice, safer place to live.
For more information on Operation Respond, you can find a link on our website, WBAL-TV.
Guy says, I like you, Ak, but you're a fool because I don't believe in space. Listen, space is bullshit, man. Space is bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? It doesn't exist. It does exist, but the fact that if you go past a certain point in space, you start floating and shit. And once you pass this certain place orbit, now you're in orbit, now everybody floats and shit. Well, then why the fucking ship don't float? Oh, it has a rocket on it. Okay, so this rocket. Listen, let me tell you when I stopped believing in space for real. Because I mean, I never believed in it, but the nail in the coffin for me was when Jeff Bezos allegedly got into a tube filled with rocket fuel and fucking blasted off into the fucking atmosphere. Ain't no fucking way a guy who's living as good of a life as Jeff Bezos gonna get into some experimental tube filled with rocket fuel and fucking blast himself into space. You know, one thing goes wrong and you're fucking dead. And you fucking you the richest guy in the world. And you gonna fucking throw it all away to fucking get in a tube full of rocket fuel and let somebody light a fucking spark and blast you over into space. There's no way a guy like Jeff Bezos that's that smart would ever make a dumb decision like that. I can see.
So
go ahead.
So I was gonna say you so in 2025, we're supposed to send people to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna believe that?
Fuck no, man. 2025. Listen, they went to the moon in a Cadillac Brougham in 1969, right? Where a fucking computer, this cell phone is better than any computer that they had in 1969. And if they had a computer that could do half of the shit that this cell phone could do, it would have to be as big as the fucking state of Texas. You kidding me, man? They went to fucking moon in 1969.
That shit didn't happen. And I feel like the whole thing, when they got all cocky and shit, and they wanted to put it on national television, and the motherfuckers went up there and blew up, that was a backfire of they motherfucking goddamn arrogance.
Yeah, man. Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
So in 2025. Okay, so what will it take for you to get convinced that they did go on the moon?
No,
So
there's nothing that can convince me. I already know in my soul, my spirit, I know that they lied to. I know it's all horse shit in my spirit. Like I feel it in my you ever just fucking know, man? Like you just like why do you believe this shit, man? Why do you believe this shit?
Following my recent video debunking claims that the ISS is all faked, a few people pointed out in this particular clip that the astronaut on the left does a backwards roll. Doug Hurley reaches out to grab him, doesn't quite grab him, yet appears to move. And it's claimed that Doug Hurley's grabbing a wire. The sticking out bit on the trousers is actually his pocket. And we can see as he does the backwards roll, it doesn't move. Now, if it was actually attached to a wire as he went up and over, the wire would pull the pocket up.
So her hair is just up. Her hair, they're all just smiling, sitting there in space uncontrollably. Think about it. You're on a fucking experimental fucking spaceship hurtling around the fucking sky. People get nervous on airplanes.
That's funny, man.
Hurtling around the fucking universe and experimenting, just sitting there smiling and shit. Come on, man. Get the
Man,
fuck
that
out
might
of
be.
here.
Hey, listen, man, that might be your son DNA not being able to believe that type of shit. But so you're trying to say like the entire world, like the Chinese space agency, the Indian space agency, the Russian, they're all in on it.
All in on it. I think I'm telling you, they're all in on it. It's what space does is it keeps people on Earth need like, look, it's this big space out there, and we don't know what's out there. And trust us, it may be aliens and shit. So we'll take care of this for you. Don't worry about this. We got all this up here for you. We're taking care of it, man. You don't even worry about it. It's kind of like.
So the Mars rovers, all that's fake. The James Space Webb Telescope is fake. All of it.
We don't even know if those things are what they appear to be. Like, we don't know if the moon is something you can land on. We don't know if that's actually solid. We don't know if these things are fucking what they like. We judge everything by matter on Earth. That's why aliens look like Earth people, right? You notice how the aliens, they just look like weird Earth people, like. They evolved on a whole different planet, just like us. Arms and fingers and eyes. They don't have a different, like, why they ain't like amoebas or fucking like gas, or why is it they just evolved the same way we did on this planet?
Welcome to the Mission Operations Control Room, which you can call it MOCR. I think I just winked at the camera. This is where science is completed and other things happen in space. Got it. Let's do that one again. Professionalism and teamwork at the forefront of things that you do. This is where we do stuff.
This fucking guy, look, what is all this shit? What is all this shit behind him? It's just a bunch of stuff, man. They got, like, listen, man, let me tell you something, man. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way they went to the fucking moon.
But do you believe in satellites?
Fuck no, satellites are fake too, man.
God damn, really?
You know what they use? You know what they there's no proof of satellite. How come you never see satellites? How come when you never see a fucking satellite? How come you're on a fucking plane, you never see them? No one's ever said, hey, there goes a satellite. Ever.
Okay, let me tell you, when I was in California, I used to go on late night hikes with a bunch of people, and you could see the satellites going. You could see them going across the sky.
Okay, well, how come no one else has ever seen them?
A lot of people have seen them.
So you're telling me there's satellite sightings?
Of course, yeah.
The satellite just floats. It's just floating and shit, right?
It's not floating. I mean, it's basically, obviously it's revolving around the Earth. I mean, do you believe the Earth is round or do you think it's flat?
I think the Earth is flat, but it's not like flat like a board. I feel like we're just on a fucking puddle in the middle of a big ice sheet that's so big you can't even fucking quantify it. I don't think everything is known. I don't think we know every fucking thing.
So you don't think you can make a round trip airplane? You don't think you can make a round trip, like go to China and come back? It'll never be a round trip, something like that. Is that what you're saying?
If we're on a fucking big ass ball that's spinning and hurtling through the fucking galaxy, it's just hurtling and spinning and millions of miles an hour, but it's so big that we can't feel it. And the sun is we're moving around the sun. I think the moon and the sun are fucking carving out this puddle. This big puddle in this ice sheet was fucking made by the moon and the sun spinning around.
Okay, so one day, about a month and a half ago, I was driving home, and I saw in the sky, right when I got to my house, I saw in the sky, I saw like 7 or 8 lights. They were like a vertical 7 or 8 lights, and I had no idea what the hell that was, but it was floating in the sky fast as hell. And I come to find out, I couldn't make out what it was. And then on the news, it had said that, for people living in this area, you'll be able to see the Starlink satellites that Elon Musk had put up, and that's what it was.
Elon Musk put them up. Salute to Steve S. He says Himalayas, man. Go to the Himalayas, and you can see the satellites, man. Listen, man. Thank you, Steve S. But come on, man.
Okay, can you tell us your name? My name is Dylan O'Donnell. And tell us a bit about what you do.
Well, I've got a day job running an IT company, but it's really just a front. I make fake pictures for NASA. All of my astrophotography is just, it's not real. It's 3D art. It's we put it together in Blender and Photoshop and a whole bunch of other tools. It takes a while, but the results, I think, are pretty good and have fooled most of the world.
So why do you do it?
At first, I just thought I could.
And I've never seen this fucking video before.
Get a few more likes on Instagram, get a few more likes on Facebook. And after a while, though, it became addictive, the money, the women, the fame. I just couldn't get enough of it. I was buying fast cars, really living that.
This guy's lying, man. He's full of shit, man.
I'm like, about to say, stop the cap. He lying.
He's full of shit. He's faking that he's faking this. But yeah, and this guy. So the biggest fucking space guy is a black dude.
Just go to the moon. Yeah, there'll be a day when AI takes over and it'll make us.
Oh, come on, man. Stop resisting, man. The biggest space guy is a black dude, man.
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a joke. He's a celebrity more than he is anything as an astrophysicist. He's a joke.
Salutes to just some dude. He says, suns, but not moon. I'm gonna do a show on flat Earth and NASA. We're gonna get deep into it. And remind me to do that soon. We might even have to go to Rumble for that because I got a bunch of videos that I don't want to go too deep into flat Earth and shit right now because they scared everybody from doing that a couple years ago. You don't notice how everybody was flat Earth? There was 1 billion flat Earth channels, and then as soon as they said, "Hey, we're demonetizing everybody that talks about the flat Earth," and everybody stopped because they didn't want to get their deplatformed and shit. That why can't you just have a flat Earth conversation? Just ignore the flat Earth people. Keep going to the moon. Why can't you just keep going to the moon and keep going to space and just be like, whatever the fuck? Who the fuck are these people are talking about? Why you gotta like deplatform people who talk about flat Earth and talk about space is fake? That's not a red flag for you.
No, I agree with that. I don't know why they would. I mean, it's such an absurd statement to make. I don't know why they would deplatform
It's only
that.
an absurd statement because all you've ever known is that space and shit. That's all you've ever known. But anyway, we'll get into that. I really don't want to get it because I'm holding back right now because I know that YouTube doesn't like that stuff. But we'll get into that. We'll do one on Rumble, a flat Earth space
Yeah,
thing.
that'll be an interesting conversation for sure.
I'm trying to tell you, man, like the fact that you like the way you think about me for thinking that the Earth is not round and for thinking that space is fake, that's the same way I think you're a moron for thinking that it is. So we both equally, the way you're looking at me like, oh my God, I thought this guy was smarter than that. I'm looking at you the same way. I think you're a fucking moron too. You see what I'm saying? So,
I get it.
Yeah. So salute to Doug Chunks. He says, I use a satellite phone on occasion that works anywhere on the planet. I haven't tested it everywhere, obviously. But yeah, it could be drones. It could be it's other ways, ground tech. They get everything doesn't have to be. Let me just stop. Salute to Tex 47 on Rumble. He says EBMM in Germany built a March 6 passenger plane in 1992. France refused them a flight corridor, so the airplane sat in a hangar forever. Germany to NYC in an hour, LA in 2 hours. Wow. We'll see, man. Salute to, he says also, you can see satellites through telescopes. Every astronomy magazine has a page of satellites and their ephemeris data to view them. All that stuff, I'm aware of all those arguments, and I still don't believe it, and there's still stuff that shows you how that's all bullshit. It's all horse shit. So what's up, Brown Sugar? What's happening, man? Okay, she's muted herself. But yeah, let me move along, man. I got the best space guy, the black guy, man.
Pets. Whatever God is not luck. Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist, and I'm here at Penguin UK to answer some of your deepest, most pressing questions.
So you make the best space guy, black guy, man. You can't even question it. So of all these fucking, have you ever seen the bell curve, man? Have you ever seen the bell curve stop resisting? Abe the Hunter, whoever.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the bell curve on that distribution, of all that, the top astrophysicists, it almost would be impossible. Not saying that he couldn't be, there aren't smart black people, but there's so many more smart Asians and so many more smart Juice Crew and so many more smart gliders that it would almost be impossible for the top astrophysicist to be a Sunman.
He's not a top astrophysicist. He's just the most popular. He's charismatic. He makes it sound fun. He has a good the way about
Sunman shit, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just the most popular, but he's a numbskull, to be honest with you.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like, isn't that a chink in the armor that they have to do that?
Can y'all hear me?
What's up? What's going on, Brown Sugar?
Nothing much. Just laughing at this conversation about the Earth being flat and you not believing in space.
Yeah, Brown Sugar. I just don't, man. I think it's all cockamamie horse shit, and it almost got brought out a few years ago with the flat Earth conversation, but they nipped that shit in the bud. They bullied everybody and to stop talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that.
That's fine. You know what? And I'm fine with it because it's just like when I talk to you about sun people, right? When I say, look, 99% of my family talk like these idiots on these videos that we got. My mom is woke. My stepdad is woke. All my uncles are woke. My sisters are woke. Everybody that I know in real life is woke. And then I come here and I see y'all, and y'all are like red pilled, I guess, or whatever, or blue, or whatever you want to call it, or y'all understand what's going on. I'm used to people not believing what I say, so it's
my sister believed the Earth is flat, and me and her go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's no shock to me that somebody's saying that. I think that they think I'm crazy. That's all I've ever gotten from when I've ever said those things.
But the reason I don't believe the Earth is flat is because I had a dream one night. Well, I guess it's called astral projection or whatever. And I remember floating out my body, and I was going up, 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 and I went all the way up into space, and I seen the Earth, and I seen the planets, I seen all that, and the Earth was round.
Okay. Well, there you have it, man. Case closed.
Earth round, everybody. I seen it.
My main page is about my ancient artifacts that I locate. I'm black. I'm a Sun man. I'm out there locating artifacts.
Who is this talking? Abe the Hunter?
Yes, Abe the Hunter.
Okay,
and what you see right there, that photo right there is one of my artifacts that I located. And this is all about aliens and all that. I'm on TikTok, on YouTube, everything. But yeah, I'm not with you on this, man.
Okay, you know what? Of course you're not, because you already believe the other side, and that's fine. 99.9% of the people I encounter, when I ever bring that up, tell me I'm crazy. So this is not like I'm not like shocked by this. But we're gonna do a show on that, man. Let me move along, man, because I gotta get to some stuff. But we may get back to this one day, man. When I have a chance to like bring y'all some information. I'm gonna get some videos together and I'm gonna bring it to y'all.
Somebody in the chat said I had a good climax.
Took you to the moon, man.
He took me to the moon.
Yeah, man. That we gotta bottle that up, man. Salute to Judah 2523 says the panel has been hot lately. Best show in town, man. Salute to you, man. Salute the boy Kachina. He says Soviet Union and China would have thrown us under the bus for lying if we fake go. No, not if they can bring it to their people and say that they went to the moon. And that's a big accomplishment for a country. We've gone to the moon. India went to the moon, right? Last time we went to outer space, right? Lately, right? Soon Nigeria gonna go to outer space, right? And then Kenya gonna go to outer space. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Let's see what we talking about, man, here. And of course Israel never goes to outer space. And they're probably the ones getting all the fucking money from NASA because the money's going nowhere because they're not doing shit. Israel hasn't gone to outer space yet. That's not a red flag.
They have. As a matter of fact, I know you're not going to believe this, but they had a lander going to the moon, but it crashed, and it actually it spilled quite a bit of biological elements, something like that.
How do they
You can
know?
look that up.
How do they know? When I got my Bluetooth in, say I got my Bluetooth in, right? And I got my cell phone in the living room. If I go to fucking get a fucking glass of water in the kitchen, my shit starts fucking skipping and shit. I start losing reception just from my Bluetooth from the living room to the kitchen. You telling me they could talk to people in outer space just clearly as day and fucking get fucking video feeds from outer space millions and millions of miles away and nothing ever goes wrong with anybody in it? Like, think about it. Those fucking rockets, they should have fucking fuck up like 100 times before they get it right. You're fucking filling
They have.
No, it didn't. It didn't fuck up 100 times.
The astronauts died trying to get there. They died right on the pad. Apollo.
I don't believe that.
One of them blew up. The one that Elon Musk did, it had blew up before it even went to the sky.
Yeah,
Hundreds of rockets blown up before they were
You gotta
able to be
understand what I'm
successful.
saying. You gotta understand what I'm saying. The one Jeff Bezos was in would have had to blow up. When do we lose a fucking real famous person that's going in all these outer space shit? How come people, planes crash all the fucking time? People die in plane crashes. The space station never fucking falls out of the sky. Everybody just sitting on there smiling with their hair fucking with gel in their hair, with it fucking looking stupid and smiling and shit. Man, come on, man. Listen, man. I
get how you feel though.
It's okay.
I understand. I do understand how you feel.
Wait, are you saying we
In a
never
way.
went to outer space?
No, what I'm saying is it's too fucking good to be true. Do you understand how far they're talking about going? When they talk
the
about
moon.
going out of space, that shit is far as fucking. It's like, yeah, and then the astronauts just smiling. The astronauts never they never talk to the astronauts. The astronauts like, oh, I'm so scared. Oh my god, I'm terrified. We're going to the fucking moon.
Well,
astronauts
astronauts are basically. Yeah, there's certain type of people. They don't.
Right.
Yeah, this a
The outer
barbershop
space,
conversation, so don't even
the International Space Station is in low Earth orbit. It's not really that far.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, you believe in satellites, right?
No, I don't believe in none. I don't believe in anything dealing with space. Okay, nothing dealing with space. I think all of that shit is lies upon lies upon lies. It's like you tell one lie, so then you have to tell another lie, then you have to tell another lie, you have to tell another lie, and another lie, and another lie.
Well,
Okay?
how did it get satellite images?
What are the stars in the sky? Are they real?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what that is. See, the thing is, I don't know what everything is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know what everything is. I'm just saying they don't fucking know. And if they came up with a fucking hypothesis back in the 60s, and they got to stick with it because they faked the first one and they got to stick with it. The first hypothesis, that's why I say that's why it's not good to lie. So now you got to stick with it.
But the pyramids was built for the stars, for the constellation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is not that those lights in the sky aren't there, but what they are is we don't know. Like I don't know if you can land on it, if you get closer to it and it just keeps going and going and you can never get close to it, or if it's just lights, if it's just matter, if it's gas. I don't know what that shit is up there, and they don't fucking know either.
You believe in the moon?
As long as them just don't fall out the sky, I don't care.
Yeah, the moon is right there, but I don't think they know what the fuck it is. The moon is right there, but I don't believe they know what the fuck the moon is.
The moon is just there to catch the asteroids from hitting the earth. That's all it is. That's why it got craters.
No, I mean you're right about all the hypotheses. I mean, do they really know how a black hole works? Yeah, they say they do, but probably not. That kind of shit, like what is dark matter? What is dark energy? It's just crap they made up.
Yeah.
You get that far out. I don't know about
dark matter and dark energy. They say they don't know what the fuck that is. They're not saying they know what that is.
Right.
They're like, we don't know what the fuck that is. That's why they named it dark.
Yeah, I know, but they say that it exists.
Right, because they see
don't
the
know
effects
if it
of it.
exists. Because the reason they made up dark energy and dark matter is because their mathematical calculations didn't work to figure out a lot of this stuff. Like, for instance, they're saying that the Big Bang is bullshit because of how everything is supposed to be constantly moving away from a point, but it's not. A lot of shit they make up is just bullshit. They say they know how it's working, and they don't. You know, they don't. They make it up.
You telling me? Listen, I want you to understand. I want you to just think about this, man. 1969. Because that's the real part that we have to fucking if we can't do 1969, that's where it all starts for me. Just watch this shit. Just look at this shit. Just look at this shit. Look at the fucking NBA Finals from 1969. Look at this shit.
91-76, the largest lead held by the Celtics in this game.
You know, Chris, the interesting thing to me as we see Hawkins get the tip and drive down is the Celtics are very fresh. We're going into the fourth period. They're very fresh. They're playing tenacious defense. The Lakers are standing around more.
So look how much basketball has improved. Look how much the telecast for basketball has improved. You're telling me they went to the fucking moon this same year and they can't go now? Come on, man.
Hey, to also back you up, 3 points. First thing that's pretty funny is look up the Lunar Eagle module and just have a good laugh at that.
Lunar Eagle module?
Yeah, Google image it.
Oh, Google image the Lunar Eagle model. Just look at that. They went to the fucking moon that year where this shit is happening. You said Lunar Eagle module?
Hey, I'm with you, Ak, on this one. I always thought bullshit.
Yeah, and also in this year they were on the moon, but they were talking to the president on the landline on the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
West and Elgin Baylor, very seldom do you see the other three pick up the scoring slack.
Tom Hawkins, a wild knocked out by Keith. Celtics ball out of bounds. Siegfried waiting over here in the middle.
You're telling me
Frank O'Neill, the Los Angeles Laker trainer, checking it.
What he's doing there, Chris, is putting that Freon on.
Hey, all right, man. They ain't need to have out of bounds plays, sideline out of bounds plays, man.
The trainer spraying Freon on this guy's knee on the court.
Bruh, Freon, no out of
Frank
bounds.
O'Neill, the Los Angeles Laker trainer, checking it.
What he's doing there, Chris, is putting that Freon on the knee. It freezes the spot that was twisted, not allowing it to swell. But Wilt Chamberlain really twisted that knee on that rebound, and this also could be a big factor in the closing minutes of this game. He has 5
I'm just trying to explain. I'm just trying to understand though, because the NBA didn't have a 3-point line. Space is fake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, that's what
I mean, what do you?
Tonight,
No. Seriously, what do you?
most valuable during the entire
because the NBA have a 3-point line that's
and
space is
Jerry
fake. That's
West
what I'm saying, man.
has won it.
Obviously, it's
And I'm
clearly,
wondering
man.
if that agrees with
Look at the
your
fucking
selection. Watching these
graphics, man.
games, certainly a
Bro,
great
he's saying,
performer,
look at the fucking
averaging over
production.
30 points.
He's saying, look at the state of technology. They don't even have
Right.
definition.
Right. That's what he's saying. Like, come on now. You gotta
Show that
What does that have to do with
lunar
NASA,
module
though?
though. Show that lunar module. It is so funny that you think that that thing was flying through space, landed
do
on the
you
moon,
do
and
you
then
think
took
in
off.
1969 that they like we really got the space?
All right. Look at car commercials from 1969. Look at this
for the judge. Judge, the special great one from Pontiac GTO. Her speed shifter, 3-speeder 4. Pontiac Ram Air, 366 horse. Back type wheels, 60-inch spoiler airfoil. The judge will rule.
That's the General Lee.
These were the best cars back then, 1969.
Mach 1.
Well, I'm just saying it'll be interesting to see in 2025 when they quote unquote are supposed to send astronauts to the moon this time. So it'd be interesting to see what that would look like.
I would trust the Nazis and Robert E. Lee to get us to the moon over these motherfuckers right here.
Yo, listen, man. Let's look at computers, man. The computers they have, man.
Also, the moon is 200,000 miles away from Earth. Do you know how much fuel it takes to go 200,000 miles? Do you know how much fuel is consumed and lift off and taken off and fly in a rocket 200,000 miles to push a rocket through the air?
Well, to get
no
to the moon,
friction.
they don't use fuel. They use the Earth's gravity to get
Yeah,
there.
but there's no friction in space either, so you don't slow down.
But no, they told you there's no friction. You don't know if anything about all the hypotheses about space. All those were hypotheses, man. Let's look at the computer commercials from the 80s because they don't even have any good ones from the 60s. Look at this shit.
Hello? You want research? Oh, no problem. We work around the clock here. Hold on a second. Research here. All trends are up. You're most welcome. Oops. Hello? Need a shipping date? Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Yo, price change? Let me switch you.
The new IBM Personal System 2.
Shipping. Yeah, I'll be out in 10 days.
The next generation of power, speed, and graphics
The price on that, the price is $89.99 effective Friday.
to help a company, a department, or a person get their work done.
It's got to be in the early 80s,
Nice work,
right?
everybody.
It can't be in the 60s.
Introducing the new Personal System 2 from IBM.
Hey, everybody, the new computers are here.
New computers? Who, may I ask, authorized new computers?
Yeah, who?
You did.
Who did? I did? IBM. Of course I did.
The new IBM Personal System 2. The next generation in personal computing. New computers, new printers, and software. And IBM's new graphics put 256 colors on a screen at once. So our work will be bolder and brighter.
If it'll make him brighter, count me in.
Personal System 2 is faster. Oh, and it has incredible power.
Someone say, power?
It's a miracle. He's following instructions.
Hey, we were made for each other.
Is it easy to use?
Even you could use it.
Can we tie it all together?
Ooh, Personal System 2 has excellent connectivity.
So we can talk to each other?
Only if we have to.
It's just what we need. Who's responsible for this?
Well, IBM.
This is the 80s. These horse shit computers that where they can't even really show you the computer because they don't do shit. The computer didn't do anything yet.
If anyone's awake out there, how much
It was before the fucking mouse. They didn't even fucking have a mouse yet in the 80s.
Augie's so silly.
Would a woodchuck chuck?
A woodchuck could chuck wood. Huh? I'll need specifics. What size woodchuck? What type wood? I got some ideas on this woodchuck thing. Let's do lunch.
Why wasn't I asked to head up Project Woodchuck?
It works.
IBM Office Systems, electronic.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one last question, and I'll be done with this. But do you think we have technology now that can send us to the moon?
I think that they've told so many lies and they've boxed themselves in, and they gotta stay true to that first space mission, that orbit and all this bullshit about space and landing on the moon and fucking all this bullshit, that they can't even worry about going to the moon. They gotta fucking keep the fucking lie from 1969 going. I don't think they're concerned about going to the moon. I think they're concerned about, because think about, what if they go to orbit? What if they really go into orbit and there is no orbit? It's just like here. It's just the same shit as here. Orbit is a theory my chief made up in the 60s. It's like the outer Africa theory. You do know that that the outer Africa theory has been debunked almost 30 years ago, right? We did not all come from out of Africa. But at that time, from what those archaeologists knew in the 1960s, it appeared that all people originated in Africa because the oldest bones they found at that time were in Africa. Since then, they found older bones in different places, and they've realized that human beings sprang up at different places at different times individually, which is clear because we're all fucking vastly different. But they can't not come out and say that. They got to stick with the Out of Africa theory because that was their first theory.
Mr. Secretary, hope you're finished by next week. Being a league secretary is indeed overwhelming. But tonight, the whelm turns. Tonight, I'll get all the scores, averages, handicaps, team averages, team standings, high series, all automatically. Thanks to AMF Data Magic. First, automatic scorekeeping with Magic Score, and now automatic record keeping with Data Magic. AMF has made my job a snap.
That's the best they had in 1970s. That's not even the 60s. That's the 70s. 1977, look.
You're looking at a small portable computer called the IBM 5100.
Look
It's
at this
helping a lot of
shit.
different people do their work more productively.
Managing real estate investments entails many difficult decisions. Do I pay it now or later?
Can't
What
even
about the
fucking hear this
landscaping?
shit,
Can we
man.
afford it? What about taxes?
You
There are
telling me
many-
these people went to the fucking moon?
Well, those are personal computers. They did have supercomputers back then.
Result desired.
Do you think the supercomputer could fit on the fucking spaceship that they? Because it would have to be on the spaceship. You know that, right?
Not unless they did it manually. They control it that way.
And
It could be
information
on
is late
land.
or inaccurate. Management recognized the need long ago for a mechanized means of processing all this information. They wanted an ideal mechanized system that would pick up information right at the source of activity with perfect accuracy, process it instantly, and then deliver the precise result desired, exactly where it was needed, when it was needed, in whatever form it was
So
needed.
you don't believe in
Now,
a movie
man
hidden
wasn't able to
figures?
build this ideal system.
Look at my cell phone can do 1,000 times more than all this shit they got. I have an app on my computer that's better than all this shit they have. And you're telling me those motherfuckers went to the moon, but we can't right now until 2025. Then we're gonna get together.
Immediately when he first saw he needed it. It had to evolve. In 1890, Dr. Herman Hollerith developed the method of storing information on punched cards. Large organizations, these punched card systems required many machines, many operators, millions of punched cards, plus large amounts of floor space. Again, large users began asking for a new technology to process large volumes of transactions and to organize and present facts in a form they could use to better manage the business. Enter the computer and a new age. The Mark I, our first computer, was unveiled at Harvard University. It took another 10 years of development before the first production computer was installed at Monsanto in 1955. The first generation of computers that were installed from 1955 to 1960 were originally designed to do scientific and engineering jobs. Characteristically,
now all of this is the computer. These aren't separate computers. All this shit is the one computer.
they had slow information input and output performance, but their computing power was the marvel of the 1950s. Organizations with large volumes of commercial applications quickly adapted the scientific computers to do payrolls, invoiced improvements in processing speed and capacity, made extensive use of tape input-output systems, especially for record-keeping jobs. Year-to-date records on tape could be read into or out of computers at the previously unheard-of rate of 41,000 characters per second. Besides speed of access, tape could store an enormous amount of information for its size.
They were still using tape in their computers when they allegedly went to the fucking moon.
The new 7740 computer family was developed to do message switching applications. Now, what did all this advancing technology mean to a user of manual or punched card equipment in the early 1960s when he faced the decision of converting to the new tape-based computer systems? First of all, it meant a tremendous saving in space. A typical card system user had key punches, verifiers, collators, sorters, reproducing punches, accumulating reproducers, interpreters, accounting machines, and a calculator with attached punch and storage units. Upon the introduction of the 1401 tape system, much of this equipment was no longer required. The former card system carried with it 46 drawers of advance cards, 23 drawers of accounts receivable, and 32 drawers of name and address cards.
Went to the moon back then, man. Are you serious? But they can't go now?
Wait, why are they saying they can't go now?
It doesn't fucking matter, man.
Wait, who's saying they can't go now?
There's a video from a NASA scientist saying they destroyed.
You said it.
It said that there's this video from a NASA scientist saying they destroyed the technology and they can't rebuild it. Literally, that's what he said. Look it up.
They destroyed the technology, and they accidentally destroyed the technology, so they can't figure out how they got there. Somebody fucked up. Yeah, somebody lost the dog ate their homework. Let me salute the Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP. Salute to Eric S. coming through once again. And Toss says, how can there not be air and space, but they talk about solar winds? Yeah, they talk about solar. Everything they say about space is just shit that they've said. You only believe that because you've been told it. Go ahead, man. They don't understand wind on Earth. They don't understand nor'easters and shit.
Well, I was also saying, name a territory or a new undiscovered land where a man has stepped foot on, planted his flag, and left and went back and told other people about it, and no other man traveled back there to explore it. Name a time that ever happened other than the moon.
It's never happened. And name a fucking time somebody went to the fucking moon in a Cadillac Brougham in 1969 and can't go back in 2015 when I got my fucking cell phone is fucking more sophisticated by far than all the shit they got.
Operating is clearly indicated by the accelerating trend toward online, real-time information systems.
They're still using cards. They were still using cards in the computer. They had to put pieces of paper into the computers.
Online terminals are devices through which a person communicates directly.
Oh, the paper is like that reads the paper and shit. The paper is like, you know how you got microchips now? all these papers, everything had to be done analog. Now we live in a digital world. They lived in the analog world.
Directly with a computer, either to give it information or to ask for and receive the results of a
That there's a typewriter, not a fucking computer.
transaction. Real time means that computing results come back within seconds, so they can be used to guide an ongoing process. It means computing while it happens rather than after it happens. Sophisticated real-time information systems were originally developed for expensive transactions, but they're already being used for $10 to $15 transactions by motels.
$10 to $15 transaction. They saying nothing about fucking going to the moon.
Simply to any one of the many telephone service representatives who can instantly select needed information on IBM 2260 display stations. A standard request, HB, history of billing. Now, however, answered with the aid of a computer system. The initial entry instructs the computer to search out and display record information, any one of which may be selected, displayed, modified, and restored instantly.
Count, Mrs. Hinckley. I see that this month's bill is considerably higher.
Not only speed, but verified accuracy ensure customer satisfaction no matter.
Those people didn't go to those fucking movies.
That's still impressive, though. Like for them to come up with that type of technology, though.
But you at least believe in satellites, right?
I believe in none of their shit. Everything
So,
is
like,
built on a lot of
because you can see the satellites.
You can't see it. Show me one.
Sure.
Show me.
You've never seen the Starlink satellites fly across the sky?
Well, let me get into this. I gotta get into this. It's getting late, man. I gotta get into the bullshit, man. We'll do another show on fucking on this fucking space bullshit, man. I think I've just shown you guys. I've laid the groundwork, like, because you're thinking about it through your 2020 lens. You have to think about it from a 1969 lens. Those fuckers were living in an analog world. Digital wasn't even fucking thought of.
Wild video tonight of a gunfight outside a Mobile gas station.
Yeah, this is just crazy. A bunch of bullets flying, innocent bystanders hitting the deck. One of the shooters hit.
Our Ariel Mallory is joining us live now from Mobile Police Headquarters. Ariel, investigators say the woman who was shot could actually be charged.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise. In the full video, you see the woman walk up to a car holding a gun. Well, police say she was looking for trouble, and she got it.
Tonight, a gun battle caught on camera at a Mobile gas station. A barrage of bullets between this woman and a person in this car left everyone hitting the deck. A wild and crazy scene Friday night at a Chevron on Spring Hill Avenue. It all started around 8:30 when you see this woman get out of her car holding a gun and walk over to this burgundy car. She tries talking to someone in the back seat, but the driver starts pulling off. As the car swerves out of the parking lot, you see gunfire coming from the car. If you look closely, you can see where at least 3 bullets hit the concrete, one of them hitting the woman who starts shooting back before running to her car and speeding off. Customers dropping to the ground, some running inside for cover.
Show me the white version of this at a gas station.
In Mississippi, that white man killed 6 people at a gas station.
Okay, put that in the back chat, please.
Just look it up. That was in Arcabulla Lake, Arcabulla, Mississippi.
Was that? Oh, you talking about the one? Was that this year?
Think so.
No, he killed a bunch of people at a house, and then he came and killed one person at the gas station. He was like on a shooting spree.
That's the only one I know.
This is a fucking argument that just happened right there. A bunch of people that probably don't even know each other. That's what I'm talking about.
Cover.
That was a stud.
Now, we're told the woman went to the hospital and is expected to be okay. I'm also told that she could be charged with reckless endangerment. Live tonight, outside MPD headquarters, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.
Good evening. Innocent young people caught in the crossfire. It is happening again and again, most recently in Middletown.
That's where several
Never mind. I don't like his voice.
children found themselves ducking for cover from bullets that were apparently meant for a relative. Local 12's Luke Jones brings us the heartbreaking 911 calls and why some say the target bears some responsibility here.
Somebody just shot up my house.
A frantic 16-year-old girl on the phone with police dispatchers after her Middletown home was sprayed with bullets early Saturday. She tells police she was babysitting when the bullets came flying inside.
What? Hurry up. There's a whole bunch of kids here. Please hurry up.
No one was hurt, but police counted 12 bullets in total and on the street found a partially loaded magazine.
They shot up a room with babies in the room.
And the story takes another twist. The girl's brother, who wasn't in the house at the time, says someone had dropped a pin on the house, meaning it had been targeted. Police say this shooting is connected to another one last month.
See the drop in the pin? They had nothing like that in 1969. They had nothing like that in 1989. They had nothing like this in 1999. Now we all have this. Now fucking goddamn Quantavious has this in his pocket, but fucking the greatest goddamn engineers can't go to the fucking moon.
Meaning it had been targeted. Police say this shooting is connected to another one last month.
The adults in these situations need to really think twice about what they're doing because it doesn't just affect them.
Anti-violence campaigner Tiara Powell says it's another reminder what you do outside the home can come back on unsuspecting loved ones.
If you're doing certain things and then laying your head there at night knowing other people know where you live and you've done something, you can't be thinking about the other people that you care about. You're being selfish.
To Rodney Christian, it underscores the importance of positive messages like the ones he's displayed around this East Westwood Recreation Center.
There's a lot of negative going on. And in some blocks, there's a lot of plotting going on. And somebody has to change that mindset.
As the sign says, quick to listen, slow to...
That basketball court looked like the basketball court in the state penitentiary.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Don't remind you of prison.
Yeah, fencing and shit like that. They fence in. It's quick. What is it? Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Listen, slow to anger, and hopefully slow to reach for a weapon.
Thank God none of those children were hit, but that's still traumatic.
Luke Jones, Local 12 News.
And police say they've arrested 6 people in connection with this shooting and the other shooting they say targeted it.
Cher, Micah, good evening to you both. Tonight, LAPD is appealing to the public, asking for help in solving this case and bringing the person who did this to justice. And tonight, family, friends, and community members, they gathered here at Quincy's father's business. He opened up a health food store about a year ago and says his son was his inspiration. Friends and teammates of 16-year-old Quincy Reese Jr. continue to gather outside of Crenshaw High School, a place where Quincy excelled academically and athletically. He was a rising senior and, most importantly, a caring friend.
If there's something going on, we always, bring something together. He was always somebody you could talk to.
Quincy Reese Sr. tells us his son was an honor roll student and was going to take over as captain of the basketball team with plans to play in college.
God allowed me 16 years and I'm thankful for that.
While Quincy's killer remains at large, his dad shared this message for the person responsible.
You took someone that was a part of a big community, very big community. You stopped some dreams that was supposed to come flourish.
According to police, Quincy was...
And if a goddamn white dude fucking goddamn cut in front of him in fucking line, you get a fucking 10 times greater response than this.
If a white man would have killed him, he would have said way more than what he just said.
Man, if a white man would have, if a white fucking lady in the fucking cashier drive-through at fucking Wendy's had fucking gotten an argument with him over the fucking order. He'd have came down there and fucking cussed her ass to the root of the tooth and recorded the shit. It may have broke some shit in the store, knocked some shit over. Some people are fucking crazy, man. I just don't listen. I get it because the people who probably did it are probably scary. Like,
Yeah, he probably can't get on camera and say what he want to say because they might come and kill everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people kind of, keep a low profile once they get on camera because they are afraid of the killers.
Exactly. Let me just show you this, man. Let me just show you how fucking crazy some people are. And I'm gonna get back to this in a second, but I just want to show you how fucking crazy some people are. And it's sad that he can't say anything about these things because those people are crazy. But look at the difference when it's a fucking white person.
But turn now to an important story to tell, one that's very personal to our friend Ryan Clark. Ryan's son Jordan and two of his Arizona State football teammates say they were called a racial slur at a Whataburger near campus. Now, due to the pandemic, this is what happened. The drive-through was the only way to order. Jordan Clark says they asked a woman driving her car if they could give her money to buy food for them. She said no because she was in a hurry. Another customer agreed to buy it for them. But while they waited for their food, Clark says, quote, the woman that we asked initially eventually got to the window and proceeded to roll down the window to ask what our problem was. We were sitting on the wall. She then filed a complaint with the manager that we harassed.
What? What?
This so confusing. What happened?
Oh, what?
Now, due to the pandemic, this is what happened. The drive-through was the only way to order. Jordan Clark says they asked a woman driving her car if they could give her money to buy food.
Oh, they were on foot. And the only way you could order is drive-through. They weren't in the car. In the store, the inside of the store was closed. So the only way you could order was through the drive-through. So they flagged down somebody who was going into the drive-through, asked them to buy food for them. Okay.
Burger near campus. Now, due to the pandemic, this is what happened. The drive-through was the only way to order. Jordan Clark says they asked a woman driving her car if they could give her money to buy food for them. She said no because she was in a hurry. Another customer agreed to buy it for them. But while they waited for their food, Clark says, quote, the woman that we asked initially eventually got to the window and proceeded to roll down the window to ask what our problem was. We were sitting on the wall. She then filed a complaint with the manager that we harassed her and he comped her meal. She then turned to us and said in a vindicated voice, she said, thanks for the free food, N-word. Now, Clark goes on to say the store manager gave her the food. She began to drive off while saying bye, N-word. The manager was unfazed. He was quick to condemn us and tell us we were wrong, quick to threaten us and say he'd call the police. Now, Whataburger has released a statement saying, quote, we do not tolerate racism and we're horrified to hear how these customers were treated by another customer. We are reinforcing training with our employees on how this incident was handled. Apologize to the players and their families for this terrible experience. Ryan Clark is back with us. Ryan, to see this happen to your son, I don't even want to ask a question. You're a member.
Can I ask a question?
The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
No, why they just didn't order on the app?
They couldn't. The store, the inside of the store was closed. There was only the drive-through line was open because of the pandemic.
But I see some people walk through the drive-through all the time.
For whatever reason, they didn't do that.
They left off the part where she was wearing a mega hat.
Yeah, in the part where they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. And some white ladies just hurling N-words at them. They didn't do nothing. The woman who told him, nah, I'm not gonna do what you. The first woman they asked to order the food for them who said no. Apparently, just out of nowhere, started calling them the N-word after they got another woman to do it while they were leaning up against the wall near the drive-through window.
And no cell phone footage.
No cell phone footage.
Floor is
Also, DoorDash exists.
Yeah, but let's just deal with what's going on. Like, not why they didn't do. This is what happened, right? Okay, this is what happened.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think you initially the first thing is, you know, as a black man and the father of a black young man, I'm happy he's alive.
Oh my God!
Wow.
What the fuck?
It's crazy.
Life
that they
and
do
death
this
situation.
over a word, but when like a 14-year-old like girl playing basketball or a kid gets shot, they don't say anything.
Nothing. Radio silence. Nothing.
I mean, this is he went
It
0
literally,
to
it literally
100.
took for one athlete to say anything was when that kid got stomped out at LeBron's school, and that was just LeBron, just because so many people were mad about it. That's
He
the
didn't
only
say
time.
anything. He didn't say anything about that white kid. He said something about the incident. He said,
Oh,
"I'm aware
right.
there was an incident at my school." He didn't condemn that shit. He didn't say anything about that. He just a basic incident. Like, yeah, I'm aware that there was an incident at the school. We're working with law enforcement to see to the resolution. He didn't say shit about that. Salute to Toss. He says, "Here's a little more scratch. I'm from Nigeria, and the sons here act like us here. Use a knife, make it personal, just like the UK. Jail rules is not real life, but what I do know, sons here think life is GTA 5, LMAO. Yeah, we using guns over here, champ. You can take your knives back to the UK, man. These are gunmen, gunsmiths."
And to see this happen to your son, you know, I don't even want to ask a question. You're a member of our family here. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, I think you initially the first thing is, you know, as a black man and the father of a black young man, I'm happy he's alive. Period. Like that was my first thought, and then that immediately turned to anger. And what's crazy is I wasn't mad at the young lady or the woman. I wasn't mad at the manager. I was mad at myself. I was mad with Jordan, and I'm not necessarily sure that that's the right emotion to have, but nothing pisses me off more than being scared. And even though I knew the moment was over,
Your kid got into a dust up with a woman at a fucking Whataburger. Allegedly, they didn't do nothing, and the woman out of nowhere called them N-words after the woman made a complaint with the manager. She didn't take it into her own hands. She went to the manager. She didn't call somebody that say, "Come up here, some N-words talking shit. Come up here with the guns, with the blickies, because there's some N-words talking shit." She went to the manager, got her meal comped. As she's driving off, allegedly, she yells out the window, "Thanks for the free food, N-word." And you're happy your son is alive. These people are sick.
sure that that's the right emotion to have, but nothing pisses me off more than being scared. And even though I knew the moment was over, I was still in that moment as his dad. I was still picturing, as I'm reading it, I'm still picturing what's going on. And I'm playing out other scenarios in my mind. I'm playing out a scenario of if this woman would have had a weapon, and she could easily say that these three young black men were threatening her. One of Jordan's friends is a tight end. He's extremely tall. He's a thicker kid. And I believe that if that woman pulls a gun on those young men, and if that woman pulls the trigger, I believe that she's never punished. I believe that justice is never served. And even if justice is served, it's not enough to bring my...
What is he talking about?
Do you really believe he thinks all of this?
No, he's trying to make
Yeah,
money.
man. You know those white women are the best shooters in the country. They letting those bullets fly.
I mean, my God, this is a big, tough football player. This guy was out there on the football field knocking people's heads off and shit.
I just think this is, like stolen valor. You get a lot of credit. You're a fake veteran or whatever. This is just stolen victimhood. This is his chance to be a huge victim, and people feel sorry for him, and he gets more accolades that way.
So this rich NFL player is so scared of white people. Let's look up his address and what the demographics are, the zip code that
It's
he
so
lives in.
crazy that this made news.
Yo, and it's all allegation. There's not like video of it. It's all his word via his son.
I mean, even if it did happen, it's just weird that this made news.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so yeah. Like even if everything is true, with all the things going on in the world at this time, somebody got a lot of noise in the background, man. I need somebody to mute themselves, man. Thank you. Salute to Toss, man. He says, "I'm a son, and wherever I live, gliders and etc. respect me and my offspring. They know what a 45 will do." Listen, man, gliders respect you even if you don't have a 45. They don't operate like that.
Yeah, gliders are nice anyway.
Yeah, they don't.
Some of them disrespectful though, especially on this panel.
But they don't operate in a world where every argument or every dust up ends in fucking has to end with somebody dying. They don't live in a world where their teenagers are like literally responsible for like hundreds and hundreds of murders in the city proper every single year. They live in a world where maybe one of their teenagers is responsible for maybe one murder in the city every 5 or 6 years. Like literally.
I don't think Fisherman's on the panel here.
I don't give a damn.
Oh my God, man! But it's about to get better. Watch this. You think he's going off the deep end so far? He's about to fucking jump into the abyss.
Out other scenarios in my mind. I'm playing out a scenario of if this woman would have had a weapon, and she could easily say that these 3 young black men were threatening her. One of Jordan's friends is a tight end. He's extremely tall. He's a thicker kid. And I believe that if that woman pulls a gun on those young men, and if that woman pulls the trigger, I believe that she's never punished. I believe that justice is never served. And even if justice is served, it's not enough to bring my son back. But this isn't just a fear for me every day. This has been a fear for black people forever. My father called me to check on me last night. He obviously called Jordan the day before. And there's a story my dad has been telling around me forever. And we actually laughed at it. And it takes on new meaning for me. When 1977, my father was at a fast food restaurant with his girlfriend. His girlfriend at the time, and I know we're trying to get rid of colorism, was a fairer skinned woman, but she was black. But to the white guys in there, she was a white girl. And so they start harassing him, and they're using racial slurs and calling him an N-word. And so they attempt to jump my father. And so he jumps behind the counter, and he's looking for something to protect himself with, but it's a restaurant. All they had was plastic utensils. And we would laugh about that story. But he said, I never thought that this many years later, my grandson would be experiencing the same racism.
White lady.
Well, why didn't you get your son something to eat then?
He's comparing.
Why is that story so funny? That's not a funny story. I wouldn't laugh if my dad told me that story.
Cause he's stupid.
That's how some people are. They think shit like that is funny though. Like, oh man, your ass was scared as shit. But here's the thing. Neither one, those two stories are not the same. A group of white rednecks attacking your father while he's with his girlfriend in 1977, and a white woman making up a lie out of thin air that your son and his 2 buddies harassed her after she told them no, she won't order their food for them in the drive-thru. And then while she's driving away, yelling, "Thanks for the free food," N-word. Those 2 stories are the same. Jesus Christ, these people are sick. And if Pookie had fucking killed his son, he wouldn't have a fucking word to say.
Laugh about that story. But he said, I never thought that this many years later, my grandson would be experiencing the same racism that I did. And so where we are in a point to where people are starting to listen, where people are starting to understand who didn't understand before, I believe that the true racists, the people with true hate in their heart, are starting to feel a little bit of the power that they felt over the last few years slip away. So they're going to.
Racists don't have any power. You can't even say. Did you hear the list of words you can't say, Ryan? With the fucking sister earlier, you can't say it. You can't call somebody a race baiter. That's the N-word. Racists don't have any power, man.
Double down on their racism. They're going to double down on their hate. They're going to double down on their evil. And that's what this woman did. And at the end of Jordan's statement, he kind of lists some of the things that he thought about himself and said, to this woman, I was none of those things. His entire life, he has grown up as my son. And it was my job to put him in better situations than my parents could put me. So he grew up in very affluent areas. He went to schools that were predominantly white because those were.
And tell us some stories. So he grew up in schools 12 years, because this guy's been in NFL for a long time ago. This guy came in the NFL, what 2003 or something like that, right? So let's just say the whole time this kid's been alive, he's been going to camps with white kids, schools with white kids, fucking extracurricular activities with white kids, field trips with white kids, fucking daycare. Everything's been with white kids in affluent areas. Yet, can you give us some anecdotes of the racism he endured then? Because this is fucked up. White people got to be perfect, man. White people were perfect until some fucking Karen allegedly fucking out of nowhere just started calling him N-word at a Whataburger when he was in fucking college, and now it's all for naught. All the years around white people where nothing ever happened.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, the boys was grown. These are grown men.
They're in college, yeah.
Are you serious? I'm the whole time thinking we talking about a 16-year-old.
No, these kids are in college in Arizona.
Well, they suck that up just because they got duped. That's all they mad. She played them. That's all that is.
Slip away. So they're going to double down on their racism. They're going to double down on their hate. They're going to double down on their evil. And that's what this woman did. And at the end of Jordan's statement, he kind of lists some of the things that he thought about himself and said, to this woman, I was none of those things. His entire life, he has grown up as my son. And it was my job to put him in better situations than my parents could put me. So he grew up in very affluent areas. He went to schools that were predominantly white because those were the schools that I felt could give him the best opportunity to succeed. But he was always
he felt that the predominantly white schools were the ones. Did you just see? Some people have no fucking self-awareness. They don't have any inner voice, man. Our inner voice is just off, man. Did you hear what you just fucking said, you fucking idiot?
His entire life, he has grown up as my son. And it was my job to put him in better situations than my parents could put me. So he grew up in very affluent areas. He went to schools that were predominantly white because those were the schools that I felt could give him the best opportunity to succeed. But he was.
So he couldn't go to no black school. You know, his son would come out a gremlin.
Or fucking get bullied. His son
or like get shot to death.
Yeah, his son don't seem like he can make it at a fucking black school, man. Let's keep it a buck, man.
Black school is like boot camp.
They don't even have clean water in Jackson.
Like, I mean, this guy, I just think it's fucked up that white people got to be perfect. I mean, and when I say perfect, you got to be 100% perfect. We never think about the white people that just treat us great and kiss our asses. Like I tell y'all, man, the white people in my town, man, they're fucking very nice. They always chat you up. Like if you're going anywhere, a white dude will fucking start a conversation with your ass, man. I was at the fucking Giant today, and I bought some shit, right? And then when I got to the self-checkout line, I've tried to put my fucking card. You know how you got your savings card for the store, but they ask you for your phone number? The little prompt asks you for your phone number. And I put my phone number in and it wouldn't work. And I asked the guy, I said, why doesn't it work? And he said, He went and tried to do it. The guy who works there, he came over there and he said, all right, look, what's your number? And they put it in. He said, oh, well, your number begins with 202 because I have a DC number still. And he said, your number has to have the area code for this store or it won't work, or you have to use the physical card. He said, don't worry, hold on. And he asked the guy who was checking out two self-checkout stations over and said, do you have your self-checkout card? I mean, do you have your savings card? He was like, yeah. He said, can I use it? And he's like, yeah. He said, can this guy use it? And he brought the guy over to me, and he scanned his card, and I saved about $5 on my thing.
Black people do stuff like that too.
No, what I'm saying, but this is a white guy who did it. White people are racist. Black people are great. Black people are perfect. So it wouldn't fucking mean anything if a black person that God sends to the planet. White people are all racist devils. It means more if a white person does it, right?
So
No.
so you said that white people have to be perfect, but it seems like gliders, even when they are perfect, sons just make up something. Then okay, everything's going too perfect. Let's just make a story up, like Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace. I don't, and maybe even this is probably made up. So there's make up incidents.
Well, here's the thing, though. Thomas Sowell said this best: when you're used to preferential treatment, getting treated equally feels like discrimination. So it's like this: most gliders go beyond the pale, especially when it comes to customer service. If they're working at a place, or if they're a neighbor or something, most gliders go beyond the son man, we different. You know what I'm saying? We're not really great neighbors all the time. We're not really great with customer service. So gliders just being natural, they go beyond the service, right? Beyond the pale, right? Or beyond the benchmark, right? If you get one glider who just gives you Sunman service, say Shaniqua, you get in Shaniqua's line at the fucking supermarket and you put all your stuff on the line, she might not even speak. She might just start ringing your shit up. The first thing she might say to you is cash your credit. The white girl gonna be like, hey, how you doing? Oh man, kind of cold out there, right? Yeah, while she doing your shit, right? Shaniqua, the first thing she gonna say to you after she done scanned all your items is cash your credit. And then she gonna hand you a receipt without saying nothing and start immediately scanning the next person's stuff. So if a white person does that to you, it's gonna feel way worse than when Shaniqua do it, because most white people give you exemplary service.
I was gonna say, hold on.
You about to take up for Shaniqua. She was like, oh, you talking about Shaniqua? Oh shit. Brown Sugar was ready to cake for Shaniqua, man. She done forgot what she was gonna say.
What you just said, how you described the customer service from a son, man, I had so many of those experiences. It boils my blood.
Yeah, they but here's the thing. That's normal. If you're a Sun person and you live in a Sun community where a lot of the employees in these places are Suns, you don't expect anything other than that. So you get used to that. You lower your level. It's kind of like you just get used to that. You get used to you become accustomed to that. That's the standard.
Okay, I'm back. Now I was gonna say that it depends like where you move to, because
hello. I think Brown Sugar's. At least she having some technical difficulties, man. Todd says, I'm a son. My best friend is a glider. We both tell our kids to stay away from the Suns and certain gliders. We're both each other's godparents. Yes, white people have to be precise and perfect or no friend. Yeah, man. White people have to be perfect, man. Let's see. He's about to go. He hasn't even begun, really. This guy's about to go off the deep end, man.
My father called me to check on me last night. He obviously called Jordan the day before, And there's a story my dad has been telling around me forever, and we actually laughed at it. And it takes on new meaning for me. When 1977, my father was at a fast food restaurant with his girlfriend. His girlfriend at the time, and I know we're trying to get rid of colorism, was a fairer skinned woman, but she was black. But to the white guys in there, she was a white girl. And so they start harassing him, and they're using racial slurs and calling him an N-word. And so they attempt to jump my father. And so he jumps behind the counter, and he's looking for something to protect himself with, but it's a restaurant. All they had was plastic utensils. And we would laugh about that story. But he said, I never thought that this many years later, my grandson would be experiencing the same racism that I did. And so where we are in a point to where people are starting to listen, where people are starting to understand who didn't understand before, I believe that the true racists, the people with true hate in their heart, are starting to feel a little bit of the power that they felt over the last few years slip away. So they're going to double down on their racism. They're going to double down on their hate. They're going to double down on their evil. And that's what this woman did. And at the end of Jordan's statement, he kind of lists some of the things that he thought about himself and said, to this woman, I was none of those things. His entire life, he has grown up as my son. And it was my job to put him in better situations than my parents could put me. So he grew up in very affluent areas. He went to schools that were predominantly white because those were the schools that I felt could give him the best opportunity to succeed. But he was always treated as Ryan Clark's son. And he's faced racism and he's heard the word, but it never affected him in this way. And I felt like I didn't prepare him for this situation enough to know, as a black man, you can't walk up to cars. You can't wave down cars with white people.
You muted up?
All Sun teams do is walk up on people's cars. The squeegee kids in Baltimore, the water boys in Atlanta. All black kids do is walk up on people's cars.
Did he teach his son that before he went to college? Because why were they doing that? He would have thought, oh man, my dad told me don't wave down white people in cars. Wouldn't that have gone through his head?
He's lying. Black people don't have those talks with them. If they did, we wouldn't have the water boys in fucking Atlanta. We wouldn't have the goddamn every football season is a bunch of fucking black kids standing on the fucking street corner with signs begging for money for their fucking football teams and shit. Every fucking day they're fucking carjacking people every fucking where. They're fucking running up on you at the gas station. Can I pump your gas and shit? All fucking black teens do is walk up on cars with white people. That's literally the most common thing they do. They do that more than anything is walk up on white people's cars. What the fuck? And he gets to say this with no pushback.
In areas, he went to schools that were predominantly white because those were the schools that I felt could give him the best opportunity to succeed. But he was always treated as Ryan Clark's son. And he's faced racism and he's heard the word, but it never affected him in this way. And I felt like I didn't prepare him for this situation enough to know, as a black man, you can't walk up to cars. You can't wave down cars with white people in it because your life is not of value to all of them. And so
that's such a racist statement, right? Right?
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, it's almost. I mean, this is just sickening, man. This is a mental illness.
Yeah, he says that, and his son's probably listening to music by King Von or Lil Durk about, killing other black men, but he's saying this about white people.
It's insane, and there's no pushback about this. There's nobody saying, "Hey, wait a second, man. You braiding white people with a broad brush there, man. Like what?"
Can't wave down cars with white people in it because your life is not of value to all of them. And so I'm blessed that my child is still here. If something would have happened to him, it would have broke me. And so for me, I got to do.
He's about to weaponize his tears.
And this guy right here, let me tell you about him as a player. He was the hardest hitting motherfucker in the NFL for like 10 years. I mean, this motherfucker would knock your fucking head off. He would knock you into the fucking next fucking time zone. He'd knock you in the middle of next week. He's the fucking running around just fucking whacking people all fucking game. He was feared. He made fucking grown men tremble. It's just fucking crazy. So what would an average fucking Sunman, a bitch ass Sunman, be like? You gliders are in trouble.
So I'm blessed that my child is still here. Like it's something would have happened to him that would have broke me. And so for me, I got to do a better job of educating him, and I got to protect him because I wouldn't know how to live.
Jesus Christ. A white woman allegedly got into a dust up with your son. She went to the manager to dispute, to handle the dispute. Shaniqua would have called Pookie and them to come up there. They would have come, because they always come, and they would have shot your fucking son. The Karen went to the manager, hey, authority figure, mediate this dispute for us. You see how gliders, when you're a glider, going to the authority figure to mediate the dispute is fucking dangerous. When you're a fucking sun person, calling some fucking sunmen to come up there and throw their lives away or fucking lose their lives to handle a fucking minor dispute, it's nothing. Nothing. She went to the authority figure and said, hey, mediate this dispute. The authority figure said, look, your meal's free. Get out of here. It's all good. As she's allegedly leaving, she goes out the window and says, thanks for the free food, niggers. And this guy's on TV crying. Unfucking believable.
Is this recent, by the way, or is this old?
It's just 2020. This happened in 2020 during the pandemic.
I got to do a better job of educating him, and I got to protect him because I wouldn't know how to live if he wouldn't have made it out. And so thank you for everybody that reached out to me. And like, I know it's getting better, but it's not better yet, and better for everybody. And
God, I don't know if I can make it. It's only a few seconds left. I'm trying to make it. This is hard, man. This is hard, man. Jesus Christ.
You know, like, we just got to keep, staying together, man, and just doing what we can.
And all those guys that you fucking knock their helmets off and shit and fucking put them in the hospital and shit. And your ass is up here crying and shit. Fucking God. He was out there fucking putting people in the hospital.
Over a burger and fries.
This fucking guy, man. Oh, you better not cry too, motherfucker. If you cry, you bitch ass motherfucker. If both of y'all up here crying, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, man.
It's Emmett Till all over again.
Is this just a new form of clout chasing? Because, I mean, how much clout did his son have on campus when this dropped? Like, he was probably untouchable. Can't say anything to him. Can't play a prank on him. You gotta treat him like a king from now for at least a month.
Yeah, he had to play. If somebody took his spot on the football team, you had to not let him play again. It was like if you're a teacher, you had to give them a good grade. Yeah, this shit is just weird, man. He's crying about something that literally a Sun woman would never do. The Sun woman, if he was in a Sun town, not in Arizona, if he was in fucking Harlem, and they came up with some sister and asked her what the fuck you, man, that shit would have went left quick, and it would have had nothing to do with police. She'd have called her cousin up there, or fucking little fucking nephews, and they came up there and fucking sent his ass to fucking Jesus.
We are with you, man. We are with you. I thank you for that. I know that was hard. Making me think about my life and my kids too. They are.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man. Let's get back to this story, man. These people are sick. See what I'm saying? Like, they're sick. This isn't like normal. This is a sickness, and it's all for
They
glider.
both probably got glider women.
Oh yeah, one of them does. The one right here, the football player, got a real light skinned wife. She looked like fucking goddamn paper bag test, and the other one got, I don't know him, but he probably got a white woman. He looked like he got a white woman. But here's my thing though. This fucking, if the fucking Sunmad murdered the kid, ESPN wouldn't have covered it. It's a chance ESPN wouldn't have covered it if his kid had got murdered by a Sunman. Just like they won't cover this.
Cher, Micah, good evening to you both. Tonight, LAPD is appealing to the public, asking for help in solving this case and bringing the person who did this to justice. And tonight, family, friends, and community members, they gathered here at Quincy's father's business. He opened up a health food store about a year ago and says his son was his inspiration. Friends and teammates of 16-year-old Quincy Reese Jr. continue to gather outside of Crenshaw High School, a place where Quincy excelled academically and athletically. He was a rising senior and, most importantly, a caring friend.
There was something going on. We always, bring something together. He was always somebody you could talk to.
Quincy Reese Sr. tells us his son was an honor roll student and was going to take over as captain of the basketball team with plans to play in college.
God allowed me 16 years, and I'm thankful for that.
While Quincy's killer remains at large, his dad shared this message for the person responsible.
You took someone that was a part of a big community, very big community. You stopped some dreams that was supposed to come flourish.
According to police, Quincy was leaving a party with friends Saturday night on Western and 74th Street in the Manchester Square neighborhood when he was shot and killed. LAPD says there's no known motive and is asking for the public's help to locate the person or people responsible. Family and friends are leaning on one another for support. Quincy's grandfather, Kevin Brown, says his grandson's death leaves a void in his heart.
My whole family is grief-stricken, just torn apart from this because, we have so much invested in this kid and in our kids, period, in their future, and for them to just be snatched away from us like this in a senseless manner, which is just unbelievable.
It's kind of
Alberto
it's kind of refreshing to see the father, the grandfather.
Yeah, it's true.
And they're weeping. They have so much sorrow. I mean, it's really a tragedy, but the father speaking and the grandfather's there. That's it's nice to see that.
But here's the thing: if a crackhead with 50 fucking arrests gets killed by some fucking glider on the train trying to protect some people, or ODs in the back of a squad car and the fucking cops don't fucking save his life or some shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll fucking give him fucking first aid and shit trying to save his life. The NBA players will tweet about that and talk about justice, and they'll make comments about it. The fucking interviews and shit. Here's a fucking kid who's literally them. He's a high school basketball star on his way to go to college next year, playing college, and he gets fucking murdered in the middle of the street. He's a fucking 3.4 GPA student. He's a fucking student athlete and shit. He's not a thug. He's just like those fucking guys in the NBA. This is LA. This isn't fucking Des Moines, Idaho. Idaho, where this happened. This is Los Angeles proper. The third largest city in the country. And not one fucking tweet, RIP, fucking retweeted a fucking article. Nothing from no player, past or present, period, in any sport.
This is unbelievable.
No offers to pay for the funeral.
Nothing.
LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho released a statement. He said, "We are heartbroken over the loss of Quincy Reese Jr., who was denied his senior year playing on Crenshaw High School's basketball team and a promising future in college and in life." And as the memorial continues to grow outside of his high school, many people are gathering here to remember Quincy's life and his legacy. We're live in Hyde Park. I'm Rachel Menitoff, KTLA 5 News.
School's out, but for the second day in a row, the steps here at Crenshaw High have been filled with grieving people who just can't believe that Quincy Reese Jr. is gone. Meantime, as you mentioned, Ellis and Christine, his father apparently has new information that the police tell me they will definitely be checking out. The aftermath of a tragedy. Friends and family continue to gather outside Crenshaw High to remember 16-year-old Quincy Reese Jr., an honor roll student and athlete whose grieving father said his son was headed to college on a scholarship and hopefully to the NBA.
The love I've been receiving, phone calls, text message, everything won't even stop ringing. I can't answer everybody.
Quincy Reese Jr., Q as he was known, was shot and killed Saturday night after a fight broke out during a birthday party at this club on 74th and Western. Why? Reese Sr. relayed a morning voicemail message from a friend with crucial information.
He got jumped, and then they shot him. The person who did it was already in there. The message told me that it was over a girl. I guess the guy who did it.
Over a fucking girl. He got jumped, then he got shot.
Told me that it was over a girl. I guess the guy who did it, that was her dude.
The LAPD tells me they'll run that lead down along with any others. So far, no description of a suspect from Saturday night and only a dark vehicle involved.
We don't have too much to go on right now.
LAPD South Bureau Homicide Lieutenant Victoria Lim's team is handling 3.
This is the homicide lieutenant? No. Yo, man, what the fuck are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing, America, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Really?
I mean, Tigers, they're good. They're good at problem solving.
Piece of shit. This is the third largest city in the country. It's a very murderous, dangerous, gang-infested cesspool. You need a fucking have a person with some fucking kahunas and testosterone. Somebody's gonna fucking, you don't need no fucking dainty little tiger chick fucking doing such an important job. Are you fucking kidding me, man?
Dark vehicle involved.
We don't have too much to go on right now.
LAPD South Bureau Homicide Lieutenant Victoria Lim's team is handling 3 homicides from just this past weekend. In Reese's case, they're looking for video from the lounge and IDing witnesses. Not clear if the dad's friend has talked with police. It was a big crowd, so you would think there would be numerous witnesses that would be happy to help.
Yeah, but again,
But again, they're black. So when somebody gets killed around black people, there's not numerous witnesses that would be happy to help. If it was a white guy, they'd all be fucking down the station. She'd be having give them everybody take a number. She'd have to have the fucking move the fucking waiting room to the goddamn Staples Center. She have so many people in the fucking line waiting to snitch if it was a white person. But it's a black person, so you can't go get any fucking cooperation.
The big crowd, so you would think there would be numerous witnesses that would be happy to help.
Yeah, but again, this just happened. We were out here just since yesterday. It's the weekend. Our detectives are out as we speak, trying to locate the witnesses. So I think it's coming. It's coming. The information is coming, and I'm really hopeful that we're going to have some really good leads.
So the outpouring of community support has apparently not translated just yet into an outpouring of information for the LAPD, Alex and Christine. But as you heard from the lieutenant, they're
Think about it. This kid can't get them to bring him any information. This kid, George Floyd, every fucking witness, everybody within earshot was like, I saw it 8 minutes before no. Listen, they can't find people to cooperate. People will tell the dad stuff, but they won't tell the police. That's how.
It doesn't make sense either. I mean, can't they call in anonymously?
Right. These people are fucking. Their culture is based on like gangsterism and debauchery, and it's so fucking sunken into the underworld that even when this kid gets killed, you can't cooperate. You can't cooperate with the captain of the basketball team 3.0 going to college on a scholarship. You can't cooperate when he gets killed because, man, that she, please, man, she, I ain't no. Like, it's just turned on all the time. But guess what? When the fucking guys who did this get caught, guess what they're going to do? They're going to fucking snitch on each other.
Told me that it was over a girl. I guess the guy who did it, that was her dude.
The LAPD tells me they'll run that lead down along with any others. So far, no description of a suspect from Saturday night and only a dark vehicle involved.
We don't have too much to go on right now.
LAPD South Bureau Homicide Lieutenant Victoria Lim's team is handling 3 homicides from just this past weekend. In Reese's case, they're looking for video from the lounge and IDing witnesses. Not clear if the dad's friend has talked with police. It was a big crowd, so you would think there would be numerous witnesses that would be happy to help.
Yeah, but again, this just happened. We were out here just since yesterday. It's the weekend. Our detectives are out as we speak, trying to locate the witnesses. So I think it's coming. It's coming. The information is coming, and I'm really hopeful that we're going to have some really good leads.
I mean, how difficult can it sound? Easy, like it was over a girl, and it's over a girl, and then they say, okay, well, what girl was he interested in? Oh, it was Stacy. Okay, Stacy had another guy. His name was this. Okay, let's go look at him.
Yeah, it is easy, but you would need someone to verify that. Like you would need somebody to say, yeah, I saw Stacy's boyfriend on the scene. And that's where you run into trouble. Well, I saw Stacy on the scene. His friends won't cooperate. I promise you, his friends won't cooperate. Because they don't want to be known as a snitch. It's a bunch of bubblehead, big lip son people that are going to snitch when they get in trouble.
And it could have been a friend of Stacy's boyfriend also, not just the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Not translated just yet into an outpouring of information for the LAPD, Alex and Christine. But as you heard from the lieutenant, they're confident that they will be able to talk with witnesses. They estimate there may have been 100 people at that birthday party. And I mentioned 3 homicides over the weekend, 120 in Los Angeles so far this year, down from last year. But of course, everyone hurts. Live at Crenshaw High, I'm Phil Schuman, Fox 11 News.
Sounds like new tonight. We now know the identity.
Damn, I'm telling you, man. Ugh. Man, I'm telling you, man. These motherfuckers are sick. Black people are sick. Jesus.
Going back to what you were talking about with that football player, you said if he got, shot by some random Sun team, I think it still would make ESPN. They would talk about it, but it would be a totally different context. It would be about stop the gun violence, too easily getting guns to the young people, blame it
would
on
be
some
20
Republican
seconds.
governor.
It would be 20 seconds. And in other news,
Yeah.
this weekend there was a tragic loss of one of our ESPN colleagues tragically lost their son in senseless act of gun violence. We're all sending our prayers. If you have any prayers, you can go to ESPN.com and leave a note. And back to the game. So and so threw for 300 yards and shit. And so and so had 30 points and blah, 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 blah. They would do it just like that. It would be 20 seconds tops.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm out of here, man.
Peace out.